Agus further you're very welcome to Donach's Travelling Roadshow, coming to you this week from Kilbaha in County Clare. And you know, I feel a little bit like Alexander Selkirk, or perhaps Captain Baines. Oh, there, Jim lad. Or maybe a chap selling fish and chips somewhere. But somebody told me down in Kilbaha earlier, before I came up here to this magnificent lighthouse in Loophead, some 260 feet over the roaring Atlantic, that if I looked far enough through a telescope, I could see New York. In fact, you can have your last drinks before New York in Kilbaha, so let's have a look. Yes, wasn't he right? It's an extraordinary miracle. There's Fifth Avenue Empire State and a Kerryman eating an ice cream on top of it, and looking very well too, green and gold ice cream at that. So here we are in this most historical part of County Clare, this promontory, this peninsula, wedded there by the estuary of the Shannon to the Kerry Hills over there, and on the other side, of course, the broad Atlantic and America before us. Now then, let's meet the principal keeper of the lighthouse, John Brennan. When was the first lighthouse set up, John?
1670.
Over 300 years ago.
That's correct. And in 1843, this present tower was designed by George Helton, an inspector. And in 1912, these lenses, they were established. And a paraffin vapor light was carried on.
And these splendid prismatic sort of lights have been here since then?
1912.
John, how does the light work?
Yeah, well, it's the raised plate. It's floating on a bed of mercury. And then you've got the lens, 4 flashes every 20 seconds. And they magnify the light to about 2 million candle power.
And how far will they extend?
Yeah, it's a range of 30 miles.
So any man from Kilbaha within 30 miles to head for home?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Indeed, I suppose that might be a cue to a man from Kilbaha who headed home to join us on this show this week. Came all the way from Capel Street in Dublin. John Kelly, the famous fiddle player. And I know that John is waiting for us down there on the stairs to play a slow air. So let's now then join John Kelly. Marvellous clear music there. Reels, of course, from the Bannermen. All changed utterly. A terrible Donegal is born. Earlier I was an admiral of the fleet, and now here I am, almost like a tourist at Jack and Mag Lynch's house. Mikey Hawk, how's the thatching going up there?
Not too bad, sir.
Going well?
Yeah.
Is it a good day for us?
Oh, good day.
Now listen, I'm looking at the cording there on the roof. What do you call that? You
Well,
call
they
it
call-
Sean Darragh, is that
They call
right?
that Sean Darragh.
And I can hear Mag laughing inside. Mikey, come down here to me. It's the simplest thing.
Is that
I
so?
can't talk to you. You're too far away from me.
Okay.
Come down and walk beside me for a few minutes here. That's a fine job and a good day for thatching, I'd say, too.
it's lovely.
Very good. Plenty
And-
of sunshine. You know, Mikey, I saw a hawk swooping earlier on there. Are there many hawks around Kilbaha?
Oh, that's a good laugh.
Plenty queer hawks, I
Yes,
suppose.
yes.
Come down here now, Mikey. We'll talk to you. Thanks
Right.
very much, Jack. It's nice to get a squeeze in the morning early like that.
Good God.
It's good for a fella. Mikey, are you in great demand for thatching?
It's not too bad. I don't do much of it, only just down a bit.
That
I
particular...
always come here to do this house.
Is
Every
that
year,
right?
Yeah.
Is it a good house for doing? It is.
It's lovely.
comes here now.
He does. Does he come around here to you, Jack? Yes.
Yeah.
great help.
Come down here, Jack, and we can see you there. You're looking-
friend of ours.
Yeah.
Is that right, yeah?
Ah, he,
Is it a hard house to thatch?
not too bad.
Yeah.
No, not too bad.
Would
They
it-
always give up, you know. They're always minded it.
That's what you call common thatching now, is it?
Yes.
Is that a clear thatch?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Where'd you get the straw?
He bought it. You bought it.
Bought the straw,
House
yeah.
Maguire over and picked up.
It's hard to get straw now, I think, isn't it, yeah?
Couldn't
It's a cold enough job, Mikey, isn't it, up
You
there?
want to find it.
Listen,
You want to summertime of the
there
year.
was a bag passed up to you there by Jack. What was that for?
That's for the knees, the rungs of the leather going in through my knees, you see.
To keep it from getting wet, I suppose, as
Yes,
well.
and the hard rungs, you know.
Are you a good man for saying your prayers?
Every morning, night.
And at night, morning and night.
Yeah.
And do you have a bag under your feet when you're saying the prayers?
Oh, no.
You don't? You wouldn't mind that,
Down
I
in the
suppose?
half floor.
Oh, God bless
It's
you.
only a couple of minutes.
Now,
you know.
I know, Mikey, that you're an expert in various crafts, and we've got some items of interest here. What are these, in fact, now?
Those are apple trees, slips of apple trees.
And what do you use them for?
Just only anybody that wants to get water.
You're a water diviner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not only just, they are listening, and I go to them
How long have you been divining for water?
about 20 years.
And how did you know first that you had the gift?
Well, there was a chap that young fellow, Linus, one day, he got well for me, dried.
And you went and you found
I went
it?
and I went away and I shipped it away about 100 yards.
Now, will any twig do you, in fact? Or do you want a special type?
Oh, you would.
You would.
That apple tree is the best.
Very
No.
good, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
we're going to go in there into Jack's garden and have a look for something. Will we go in?
I
Is
don't
there
mind.
water there?
I
Right,
don't
Jack,
mind.
you can follow us in, Jack, I suppose. Let's find black soil there in the
Well, now-
garden. Isn't it? Which one do you want to use?
This
now?
is the one. This
That's
is
the one. Come on,
yeah.
we'll go in here and have a look. then.
Okay.
Is that good soil around here, Mikey?
Oh, God.
Very
See.
good. Go over
Oh,
there
see,
and have a
but-
look and see what you can
Right.
find. Now, better tell us what will happen when you find it. First of all, you catch the twig in your hands like that,
Like
right?
that.
No.
Like that now.
What happens now? Tell us.
Just on his, as soon as I go over the swing,
Right?
it's just going to
It's going to
away.
move.
Yeah,
Here we are then.
yes.
It's moving up of its own
Yeah,
accord.
look.
Good Lord. Oh! Try it
Yeah.
again till we see it. That's extraordinary. Now, Mikey, what does that mean exactly? That down there?
Well, you'll get water now about 10 feet down there.
And
Hold
I,
it down.
I suppose that the real problem in Kilbaha would be to find a place where there isn't water.
Oh, that's very hard.
Were you ever asked to look for a dry spot?
I was. Jim Connolly over there.
Jim was
no.
looking for a dry spot.
Dry spot.
And could you find it?
No.
Not a bit.
Not a
It was
bit.
all wet. Could I try that?
Yes, you can.
So
Hold that one.
Can I hold this one? Or you have this? I go in here. Right,
Just
you
stand-
show me and I'll stand with you.
Your hand. You're have to turn your...
Am I all right like that?
No, you are not.
Sweet God, how do I do it?
Your
Okay.
thumbs.
Thumbs, where are the thumbs to be?
You see their way hanging down outside.
Oh, I want them like that, yeah?
And they're inside the tube. Outside you'll have our thumbs.
Sweet.
But that,
Go on,
Yeah.
show me. Go.
but that went down.
So there.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I have you, yeah.
Now, striking your head.
Elbows into the side,
Yes,
right?
to the side.
There's going to be a great discovery made now.
Here it comes.
And I think there's something wrong with my stick. There's nothing happening. Look at that.
I'll
look.
change.
You better change stick. I think you're after doing me in this one, Mikey.
No, I changed.
Ah, you did me. Hold on a
Well,
while.
you have to do it.
Ah, she'll go now, will she?
No, you have it wrong.
I have it
Don't
wrong.
cut wrong again.
Holy God. Like
Now,
that?
now.
Okay,
You
right,
have it
here we
now.
are now. Elbows into the side.
Yes.
Hold it out like that, is it?
Right out straight,
What
not
to make?
same.
How in the name of God do you keep your hands like that? Right. You're moving again, are you?
Yeah.
And there's the order for this one.
Ah,
I don't have the gift, obviously.
I don't know what's it.
Ah, there's something wrong with my education.
I don't believe in it at all.
Where did you go to school?
Money, you know.
They didn't teach you water divining
Indeed,
there.
they did not.
And the Charleville Christian Brothers taught us less. Of course I could show off and do it like that, but that's not the thing.
Ah,
No, it's no good.
You'll have to hold right still. when
Hold
this
it right.
This is going to turn on yours.
If you put your hands over mine now, would it turn, I wonder?
Well, I'll just try.
Will we try it? Just
Yeah.
as a gimmick. No, I interfere with the power. It's a frightful thing, Mikey. I don't have it. You try it again yourself with that now. Do you enjoy doing it?
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Here he comes.
Here she comes, loud and clear, every time. My God, you're
And
an
if I took
extraordinary
one,
man.
get
Yeah?
the stout. Often till it called me in. Well,
Yeah.
we have a thing before we got on.
The stout
tried it
interferes. Do you know I know what's wrong? Our friend Mag
Wait.
inside there. No,
Wait.
no.
Wake near.
She called me in this morning. I have no wake nerves. And she wanted me to have a drop. A drop wouldn't have helped, you'd say, no?
But did you take this one?
I did, yeah. No good.
No good. Oh, no good.
So I'll never be a water diviner.
When?
I might be a whiskey diviner, though.
You mean? Ah, no.
Listen,
Well,
wouldn't it be marvellous, though?
When would you took that to drop now?
Yeah.
That's right, it turned me in.
You know, Mikey, watching you doing that, you could spray in a hand twisting it up like that.
Ah, no.
You couldn't.
No, you're just used to it.
And she just moves herself. Well, there's a nice young man about to join us here. I suppose the youngest singer we've had on the Travelling Roadshow yet, by name of Mr. Patrick Roach. Patrick, would you like to come out here on the hearth and sing your song?
In the dark, a ship was anchored on a bright St. Patrick's Day. On the quay, a lass was sighing for her lovers going away. In her hands she held an emblem, and her parting leaves were three, and her parting words were darling. Look at these and think of me. 3-leaf shamrock I adore thee. Your 3 leaves I long to see. When there's brighter days in Ireland, I'll come home and marry thee. Just before the ship had passed, as she placed her arms on mine, just before the tree had passed, she looked with loving eyes so kind. To my coat she penned an emblem, and her small green leaves were 3, and her parting words so darling. Look at these and think of me. But tonight I am in exile, far from home and far from thee. Next to my heart all the open, no matter where I'll be.
Fine song there from young Patrick Roach. A sad song, a song of emigration. And now we're going to go to the pier at Kilbaha, where I suppose many a person left to go away and maybe didn't come back. But today we're going to talk about the past, back into the 19th century, when the heroism of this part of Clare was noteworthy as it is today. We're going to talk, in fact, about the very famous Ark of Kilbaha. Father Green, we are, of course, looking at the famous Ark of Kilbaha. What is it? How would you describe it?
I would describe it as the original church that was built here in Kilbaha. It's just crude timber structure which was an idea the late Father Meehan had, because he couldn't build a church ordinarily in the land because of the landlords, etc., which was usual at that time. The landlords wouldn't allow, and particularly the Marcus Keane, who was here, who was a sort of an evangelist, and he wouldn't allow Father Meehan to build a church. So he got this idea and built this timber structure, which was used as a church here in Kilbaha, and the people collected here in the open air. Father Meehan said Mass in the Ark. He could be seen by the people who collected around and knelt on the mud and on the stones. And it went on for 5 years.
Now, he said Mass in the Ark on the seashore, actually, was it?
On the seashore. There's a little bit of a dispute about that, but it's the locals believe here that it was on the seashore that he said it.
And of course, then according to local folklore, he was untouchable there.
Yes, it's between high water mark and low water mark. So the story goes, anyway, that it couldn't be, it was no man's land.
And would many people have come along?
According to reports, about 300 or 400 people would be usually collected there, that for Mass on Sunday especially. You used to baptise people and married people in the Little Ark as well.
And what years were these?
1852 to 1857, I think.
These were bad years too. It was just in the post-famine era.
That's right, immediately after the famine. The people back here, they weren't very rich. They're not even very rich today, but they were able to eke out an existence. And the famine, of course, wreaked havoc on the peninsula and West Clare. And Father Meehan says that, in some of the letters that he wrote, accepting. He was a great man to write letters to the papers, by the way.
Indeed, I read that new little booklet about
Did you?
the Ark.
Yeah.
Of course, you talked about Marcus Keane being an evangelizer. Father Meehan had to fight the soup kitchens as well as the hunger.
Yeah, that's true, because you see, Marcus Keane and the evangelists at that particular time, they used a good idea, which was to give soup to the people after the famine. It was a very good idea to help them to survive, but they used it kind of as a bribe to win them over to their particular brand.
And it was seen that the Kilbaha and the Loophead people stood up and were counted.
They stood up and certainly were counted.
Thank you very much indeed, Father Green.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
Of course, indeed, these beaches and this pier here, as we say, have seen great history over the years, and apart from unveiling plaques and having the Mass said in this part of the country, they've had other vivid seagoing traditions, notably that of currachs and currach racing. And so the currachs come sweeping across Kilbaha Bay on this day of sunshine and glacial cold. There they are, prow to prow, like two black beetles, 6 oars there, weaving through the water. Johnny, who's winning, would you say?
It's Crossbeg, as far as I know. Well, I can't identify him that well.
Johnny
It's
Crotty,
Crossbeg,
is this a
Crossbeg.
difficult day for rowing?
Well, reasonable.
They're coming up towards the finish. There's one sweeping in. He's winning by about half a length, I'd say, would you?
Crossbeg, yes.
The Crossbeg boat has won, and there's great excitement behind us here as the men are relaxing over the oars now, drifting in towards us. 3 per boat. Is this traditional, Johnny?
Well, no, it's 4.
4 usually.
Yes.
And the currachs themselves, how long have they been in use around this part of Ireland?
Oh, goes back ancient history.
How long would a currach last?
Depends on maintenance and that, but anything up to 70 years. I knew one of 70 years old.
And then do you have special places around here for keeping currachs in?
Just put up on a stand, anywhere a bit of shelter, and just turned on a stand and with a few weights hanging up for the winter,
In some places I know around the country where they keep the boats, they call it Laban the Moor. Do you have such places here?
Oh, yes. Oh, there was several. And Laban the Goree.
Laban the Goree, which is of course closer to the canoe you have out there.
Yes.
How is that canoe in fact made?
Just a simple job. Those 2 frames assembled and ribs and what they call the lurus. I just can't put it as far as it goes in English, but they call the lurus, those lads that go all along the back, just covered with canvas and tarp.
A very thin craft then.
Oh, thin, there's only, I suppose, near an inch between you and eternity, as far as it goes.
And that 1/8 of an inch is obviously very important. How safe are they?
very safe of handling properly.
Any seafaring place, any place like Kilbaha, has always a great respect for the ocean.
Oh yes, need to be. Anybody that gained their livelihood out of it, well, they had to respect it.
Respect rather than fear, I suppose.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. With fear, no business to float. No business to float.
Have you yourself been out in the seas there?
I have.
Are the currents strong in this part of the world?
Well, in particular, from certain places, like, you need to know where they are. Not that strong hereabouts.
Just here.
Further up the river, they are strong.
And we're facing across coast towards Ballybunion and Kerry. How far over is that, do you know?
11 miles.
Have you rowed across to that?
I have.
Does that take very long?
Well, 400 canoe, an hour and a half.
Would you say does the sea add a special character to the people who live near it?
Well, I suppose so. I suppose.
I mean, would you know a Kilbaha man now if you met him in New York?
Probably would.
What characteristics have they?
Well, their manner of speaking, what they all differs.
And their manner of thinking, I suppose. And
I'll have to identify that.
Jim, we have, I suppose, one of the most striking works here in your studio. This gentleman with the hat and the finely etched face. Who was he?
I feel very humble in the presence of this man. This was Henry Blake, who lived across the road from me here in a thatched cottage. Henri de Bloch is better known possibly as Irish name. He was blind, as you may come across in the portrait. He was a man of extraordinary talent, beautiful Irish, as you know well done. This place was a native Irish speaking district. And that man, he's dead a few years. In fact, I was involved in the making of a little film of Henry Blake, which was my very first introduction to this area. But the stories about this particular man and his abilities and what he could do are unbelievable. But just one or two little instances. For a blind man, I had, in a sense, the stupidity to ask him, how could he find his way around his own land? And he answered me in Irish, and I couldn't say it for you now. My Irish wouldn't be good enough, and in fact, I had to have a translator for me. But the translation was quite simply this. When I asked him how could he find his way, he said, I could keep a hare in a field, he said, with 7 gaps. That's was his answer to me. And he could. The man used to grow onions commercially, and he used to thin them by tipping them with his tongue, and he'd taste the onion, and he'd be able to differentiate between the onion and the weed, and he used to weed them that way. But he was just an extraordinary man. He was in Irish and in English.
In many ways, I think he seems, looking at that and talking to you and listening to you, to epitomise much of the attractiveness of this place here for you.
Wholeheartedly, I would agree with you. It's very difficult to say these things and not to be challenged with regard to your sincerity, but I love this area deeply. I love the people deeply, and the proof of it is I live here and I work here.
And will continue to live here, presumably?
You can be very sure of it.
Now, you were saying that you had worked, of course, in ceramics initially, and on the wall behind your head there, we can see County Clare in my book represented in ceramics. Surely that's one of the Russells playing the concertina.
It is. That's Paddy Russell. And over here to the left, you'll see Willie Clancy, who are, of course, masters of traditional playing, and I'm a lover, wholeheartedly a lover of traditional music, and I'm very involved with it. And I think in putting these, to the best of my ability, in ceramics, that I'm merely carrying on a tradition that is, again, thousands of years old, which is marking special occasions and special people in ceramics and in pottery of one kind or another.
You're also marking the man going to the creamery, in between Willie Clancy there and the Russell gentleman, and above it the man with the schlan, cutting turf.
Yes. I took my subjects mainly in the ceramics, when I was doing ceramics, from the normal life of the people around here.
And where would you organise W.B. Yeats then?
Well, W.B. Yeats, I suppose, put our culture in another art form, same culture. though mind you, the view I have taken of W.B. Yeats was by a very, very well-known, very famous English painter, Augustus John.
You should take us on a tour of the heads there now, moving just above Tommy.
Yes. The next one, you don't mind, I'll just call them their Christian names because some of them are private portraits, but this is Debbie. The next one is Nora. Next little girl is Anya. Next little man is Seamus. As you can see, I love doing children. I love children. I'm involved with them. I play music with them, and it's part of my life here in West Clare. Next one is Kathleen. Finally on the stand there, a man you'll probably recognize, Eamon de Valera, which is the small model, a 2-foot model for the large 8-foot statue that I have made to stand in Ennis.
Thank you indeed, John Kelly, on behalf of myself and Sheba the cat, which is a male Sheba. Where did you learn to play concertina?
Way back in the start, near the start of this century, 18 or 19, from my Uncle Tom Keane.
And it was all to do with this part of the country here?
Certainly. Even in this very spot where we're sitting tonight, we performed. When he was a young man courting girls, and I was a little gossoon of 12 or 13 years of age, we sojourned together. They brought me, because I loved him because he could play the concertina. My father was more of a working man. He loved music, but singing and all that, but he thought like that too much concertina playing and fiddle playing in the house wouldn't be good for farming.
What is Clare music? What's the essence of Clare music for you?
The love offered by the people. In one sentence. Music, I think, means more to Clare people. That is, going back to the 50-odd, I'd be nearly ashamed to say that I go as far as 60, but very near it. I think it meant more to them than any race of people that I met in this country. I did meet field minstrels from Sligo and other parts of Ireland that music meant a lot, but not as much as what I saw in the eyes of the Claremen when they got in the sit. There in the old flag floor with a few pints in them, and the look in their eyes was something great.
You've had a unique experience too, John, in that you brought Clare music to Dublin, and now and again you and your family bring Dublin Clare music back to Clare.
Yes, that is true too. Like when I went to Dublin, I was frustrated from many angles, but I kept playing my fiddle, and it was a great solace and comfort to me to play it. I was mad about it. My sister Nora here will tell you that I played one time that I'd have to pair horses outside the field in front of the house that we were ploughing. And Morrigan that I was going for a drink of water and a sup of tea, and what was it? To lift a fiddle and play a passage of a tune that I was trying to learn. And that was way back in 1928.
The horses never told in your house?
No, the horses never told to us. But in Dublin, I brought that love of music with me. and now we own a part of Dublin. It's all Irish music, and they come from far and near. And this impromptu music, there is no covered chairs, there's no rise in the pints, and the very minute you call for order, all the men in that bar, maybe 150 of them sometimes, men and women will stop up and listen to a singer or listen to music.
There is too a kindness and gentleness goes with the music.
Yes, that is true. That is true. The finest men that ever met, that played traditional Irish music, genuine Irish music from the trade, like the speakers of Irish language. They had something wonderful in the characters, in their demeanour. I could just mention a few, like be brief, like Sean Reid of Ennis, like a man, or Dennis Murphy of Kerry, who was up with the Clancy of Clare, and a host of other people like that. They were all great men that came up. The people, my friend Joe Ryan that plays with me in Dublin, Andy Conroy the piper, they're all poets in their own way, the different men.
There was another very unusual man you had an association with, Sean O'Reilly.
Yes, Sean was one of the greatest personality men that I ever met. I don't know why he linked up with myself anyway, but yeah, there was such an old-fashioned musician that he thought like that, being from the cradle of music in my mind, and the man I put the type of music I portrayed, he thought like that I could be a good help for him. But he in turn offered me some great things that I never thought existed, and above all, the man, he was a great man. Like that, they always say, separate the music from the man and the man from the music. And there's something wrong. The man and the music goes together, but he certainly had it.
Now, John, we're going to end our little visit on the travelling roadshow to Kilbaha with you playing Clare music and the fiddle. Have you a fiddle handy by there?
Well, I have it. You'll have to give me a couple of minutes.
We'll have a course. We have to tune up, I suppose. You know, I often think that fiddles, they're a bit like pipes. They're like women. They have to be tuned.
My father gave his call his wife the missus, but he wasn't married at all. The missus is feeling very bad. He says, I left her out up against the gable into the house last night, and it rained all night. And she's in bad for him.
So then, Winnie, that's it. Pussycat, the night is over. Night in Kilbaha has passed. It's been a wonderful day all in all, from the lighthouse to the end here with John Kelly playing his wonderful Clare music. I really hope that you enjoyed the programme as we enjoyed it here, as much as we enjoyed being with our friends in the Bama County. Until the next time, from Donegal and his travelling roadshow, Slán Agib Gafoil. Agus Fáilrevisteach, welcome to Drolína Crisha, West Clare Rands Night. And behind me, around me here, are hundreds of boys and girls of the Rand people in West Clare. We're here in Kilbaha, in the hospitable home of Jack Lynch. That, of course, is the Kilbaha Jack and his wife Mag. What better way to start the proceedings than to go in there and meet them? Splendid they look by the fire. It's a great pleasure to be in West Clare. Can I have a small little kiss? Oh, isn't that lovely? Hello, Jack. Do you want to kiss me too? Oh, that's lovely. There you are. Sit down there now and take your ease. And watch all the thousands coming in there. Gentleman there with 4 bladders, which is a rarity. I suppose all the colour of Clare is round us.
Indeed, yes.
Did you ever have a night like this before?
Never.
And there's a man there with a bull's head in him. And what better way, really, Mag, to open the proceedings than call up Dennis Ledan, the king of the Rand boys. Dennis.
Rand, the king of all birds. On St. Stephen's Day he was caught in the furze. We followed this Rand 3 miles from home, through hedges and ditches and great big stones. We caught him at last and we broke his knee and we hung him up in an ivy tree. So up with the kettle now and down with the pan, shove back the chairs and let us begin.
A lovely song now from a lovely girl, One Morning in June, Deirdre Barry.
One morning in June agus megel ik stashtara kastaram Colleen Barrow up the grave. She was so handsome, but hits maying raleigh, his dog she and naring, three catlar ma free. I asked her name, look at the unrain penny hair, dogs and not show a gragel ma cree. Sure my heart it will break if you don't come along with me. Slan agus sanach lebur eventil. Washicallin bjogog me o counter na fariga, Togo go kinafsam me the sock mo heel. I've been so airy o sebi but laxagum, made my own parents and me disagree. Washiquishless a star, akanish talam tunnel. I'll tell you a story about Leather Cree. That I'm a young man who is deeply in love with you. Surely my heart is from roguery free. Year ago you bold rogue, sheer wanting to flatter me. The bar inner love, naga inner a grief. I've neither wheat, potatoes, nor anything. Few and flood lappin' cor Harrington. Can no ik me pay that this bless my necklace, goon English cotton and fashion ta there. So powder your hair, love, and come away along with me. Slan agus spanach lebur eventil. There's an alehouse nearby, agus by mead go mad anown. If you are satisfied, Grogel McCree. Early next morning we'll send for the clergyman. Buy me a tangle thing on it until. Buy me the gold for the waters and Harrogate, and then we will take the road home with all speed. When the reckoning is paid, boys, who cares for the landlady? Slan agus sanach lebur eventil.
Now, Dennis, where do you think we ought to go to next?
I think we'll call on an accordion player we have here, a local man. He might give us a shot of a hornpipe or something like that.
And what's his name?
Alfie Marnon is his name.
Alfie, come out here with your straw hat
No better man.
and give us a straw corn there. Dennis Sedan, the splendidly caparisoned, that's a nice word, king of the Ran boys here in Kilbaha. I must say I can't say the same for the Ran.
He's had a rough day of it.
He looks as if he had.
There was a hell of a hunt of it, but he's the worst for it now by the looks of it.
Did you chase him very far?
We did, yeah.
But I gather he's going home to the wife and kids tonight.
He is, and by all accounts they have a big family.
Is that so?
That's right, yeah.
Rans have big houses.
Big houses.
No wonder Mag is laughing behind us there, probably. Now listen, this Ran boy tradition, you're all, as I said earlier on, splendidly clad here. How far back does that tradition go?
It dates back to the beginning of the 30s, 40s, we'll say, like. As far as I wouldn't like to tell you my age, of course, by going back too far, but as far as I can remember, it's been in the locality.
You're about 25 and a bit, I'd say.
Yeah, we'll settle for that.
Thereabouts. Now, all your garments, all your gowns, all your hats, who made all of these?
Well, this is where the wives come in handy.
They are useful.
Yeah, at times, yeah. And they produce most of them at home, like they're all locally made from materials that we can say, for nothing almost.
And how many do you have in the group in all?
We have anything up to 30, I suppose. Anything up to 30.
And how many places would you have gone to today now on your trip?
We'd have gone to anything like 60, 70 houses maybe.
And expecting to get the few punts in each place?
Oh, sure, don't you know, we expect to get the punt, even though it didn't worth as much as it used to be, but...
What happens if they say, God, you're great lads, thanks very much?
Well, I wouldn't like to tell you what we'd say, but to be honest with you...
Going down the Boreen,
yeah,
that's a bit of crack.
For sure, that's for sure, yeah.
But you do well normally, I
Well,
suppose.
maybe if we didn't get something out of the cup on top of the dresser, we'd snap something over the table, like, you know, to make up the
That
balance.
cup
kind
on
of.
top of the dresser is important.
That's the one we'd be watching.
Do you think that Mag and Jack have a cup on top of the dresser?
I hope so.
You hope so, and that
They
they'll
have
spill
been,
it.
they have been known every year, to give them their due, they have been known to come across in a big way, but the few barbers concerned.
People in Clare love the Rand boys, don't they?
They do, yeah.
There's a person here too with 4 bladders.
That's right.
Is that a
That's
complaint?
Well, let's say it's a swelled up complaint if it is.
Swelled up complaint. What sort of bladders are they?
They're pigs.
Pigs.
Pigs bladders. You know that we kill a lot of pigs in the neighbourhood, like, and
They
we are that's the first thing we go for, we'll say, like. Even though it might look that we'd need a poor steak first, but we go for the bladder first.
They look like common market bladders.
They could be, but I don't think Mansholt or any of those had anything to...
I doubt it,
say, no.
doubt it very much. Do you play football with them at all?
We used when we were younger, not anymore.
But that's all gone.
That's all gone.
They're just for entertainment now.
That's just for entertainment.
Now we have a huge crowd, as I say, here tonight for this lovely Rand's Day party. There's a man here about to play a slow air for us, isn't
That's
there?
right, yeah.
And who is that?
That's Padder Crotty.
So then we'll
yeah.
call on Padder Crotty to play a lovely tune, She Form of Water.
No better man. Padder, come out here and... Lovely Padder.
This is a great party, Jack and Mag Lynch, and we thank you all very much for being with us. Now, this is Stevens's night, the night of the Ran.
Right.
Do you like the Ran, boys?
Oh, I do have great welcome for them. We have tables and chairs with my dancing up.
What more could you ask for, I
What
suppose?
more could you ask for?
Jack, let's go back to the Christmases of long ago. What do you remember about them?
Well, they were all right, sir.
Plenty dance.
Plenty dance. Music.
What would you have for Christmas? Say, for the Christmas dinner, what used you have long ago?
Oh, turkey.
An old turkey. Say, how do you know she wasn't the young one?
Oh, well.
And plenty of cotton bread, I
I
suppose.
couldn't beat it, sir. I'm sure you couldn't beat that.
You were fond of the cotton bread?
Oh, definitely.
Used the neighbours call in to see you Christmas
fine,
time?
yeah.
Oh, definitely. That would come from all over, you know.
From everywhere?
Yeah.
Cousins and uncles?
Yeah,
Oh.
everyone is off.
Jack, to ask you a personal question on this Stevens night, I don't like doing that to you. Where'd you meet herself first?
Oh, I met her at her own home, you know.
At her own home?
Yes.
And where was that?
Don't tell him.
You won't tell me. And when he came into the house, Mag, they often talk about love at first sight. You looked at Jack, and did you say, he's the man for me?
I wish you God bless your head.
You know, I called into you too, and we're talking about food again, a couple of months ago, and you were making Carrageen moss.
Yes, I was.
Is that very good for a person?
Oh, you can't beat that.
What's it good for?
For everything, sure. If you had a bad stomach, 'tis great for it to drink it hot, go on to bed and so on. And if you want to leave it set, you would have it with your afternoon dinner or your afternoon tea.
You could have it 3 times a day if you
You
like.
can, and before you go to bed, a bowl of it.
Very good for you.
I suppose so,
Oh,
Jack.
they would definitely.
That'll keep a man going a long time.
That would have to you.
You've lost no heart with the years anyway.
I beg your pardon?
You haven't lost any heart.
Well, they haven't so far anyway.
You haven't. Would we have a piece of music, Mag?
Oh, it's
Definitely.
Yes, or a song.
I think we'll have a piece of music.
All right, so.
Don't contradict me, Mag. It's very dangerous. And now, in fact, we have a few reels played on the great Clare instrument, the concertina, played for us by Tommy Mahoney. Now then, Martin Allen, the King said I should talk to you about the cocks, but before that, I want to talk to you about something else. I was watching your set here tonight, and the floor was really raising sparks. The hobnail boots. Where do you get all the hobnail boots in Clare?
Well, they're not as plentiful now as they used to be, but a good many wear them, still wear them, you know.
Are they very good for the sets?
Yes, they're good for the set, especially in the flag floor.
They really hop off that floor.
They do,
there.
yeah, they make a better sound anyway.
Now, they're very rare, as you were saying. Where did you buy your own hobnailers?
I've had them in Kilrush.
Kilrush is a good place for hobnail
It
boots.
still is anyway, yeah.
And do you go into a shop in Kilrush and say, I want a pair of hobnail boots?
That's right, yeah.
And they know what you want.
They do, yeah.
Now, I was also told, of course, to say to you, tell me a little bit about the Bucocks, or the Buckig in Irish. Who are they?
Well, they are the crowd who gather if a couple get married and come home from the honeymoon. Or in olden times, the day they get married, you know, they have the wedding in the house, and they gather and dress up that night and come for the perform in the house, you know.
And what would they do when they'd come?
Well, they'll dance the set anyway, that's the one thing they'll do.
And would they wear straw like you're wearing here?
That's right, yeah.
I suppose the Bucocks then are part of the strawberry tradition too, are they?
Yes, I suppose, yes, you could link them up with it all right.
And do you yourself often go to weddings like that?
Yeah, well, as much as we can, you know.
And what sort of welcome would you get?
Well, we get a great welcome. A great welcome.
I suppose if you had been around the day that Mag and Jack got married, you'd have been in the
Oh, we would, yes, that's for sure.
And I got to prove out for him probably too. Now, I know that you're going to perform for us something very unusual and very strange called Tatter Jack Welch. What's that?
Well, it's on Tatter Jack Welch is the name of a jig. And the song was written to the music, you know. And you'll also jig, or diddle a bit of it, you know.
So you diddle it?
Yes.
There's playing of it?
Yes, and we'll step dance it as well.
Eating and drinking?
That's right, yeah.
Right, Marty, on you go.
In Ballymahach there resides an old man who could handle the chantle, a spade or a pan. At the tinker and trade he'd a beautiful plan, and his name it is Paddy McCarthy. He rises at 7, his work to begin, and he hammers away with his southern 10. And the neighbours with teapots and kettles come in to be mended by Paddy McCarthy. Each Monday he go to a market or fair, fresh lard in his brogues and the same in his hair. He get drunk and he throw his old hat in the air, saying who'll challenge old Paddy McCarthy. There was Mickey Maloney, a comical card, with a noddle as bold as a blather of lard. He got jealous of Pat by the way that he sparred, and he challenged old Paddy McCarthy. Now they fought for 2 hours, till he conquered old Mac, with a left-handed slap on the rod of the bang. Paddy lay on the floor like a cold empty sang. God be good to you, Paddy McCarthy. Hey there, Mikey, come on, here a few
There's no party would be complete without a recitation, and tonight is no exception. So here now is Michael Burke. Michael.
For the tale the tinker told me as we camp below the bridge, where the oaks of Hillgrove beckoned to the stars, and the brown owl on the old mill gave his banshee wail again, as the woodshire thumbed their shadows in the cars. I sat there watching upwards as the tinsmith of the tribes scattered crescent moon and stars about the sky, while the pieces white like silver glisten with eternal dews, as he snips it chaff the dipper with a craftsman's steady eye. Shango the blacksmith ruled the forge beside the hazel wood, where the 4 roads meet and mingle like old friends come from afar. And when he saw the tinkermen sweep at the smithy door, The hate blinked from his dusty eyes as light winks from a star. For go the blacksmith walked a maid when April was abroad, and she promised that she'd wed him when the trees had lost their green. The Tammy Bryan, the tinker king, came laughing down the road, and when the summer fled the fields, she ran the tinker queen. Now the smith should be the friend of man who takes the road for mates, for we're iron that the blacksmith baits or tinker horse is shod, and he that hates the tinker man should make no boast of hate, for the stick the tinkers carry is smashed tree grown by God. The bellows hissed into the coal, the iron glowed to red, the blacksmith picked his hammer up and made the anvil ring, but a shadow fell across the sparks that danced about his head, and looking up the gow he spied the smiling tinker king. Away from this place, tinker man, I'll pair no hoe for you, and take your road into the next ford, while yet your road is good. No shoe I'll shave for him who made the 3 hard iron nails, for him who died between 2 thieves upon a cross of wood. The smile drained from the tinker's eyes, like sunlight from a pool, when the cloud sheep seek their pastures in the blue sky's airy trail. A liar was your father, Gow, your mother aired the fool. 'Twas the blacksmith blew the bellows, and the blacksmith made the nails. Then face to face they glared their hate within the smithy smoke. The tinker man just like a cat, the smith broad like a bull, the muscled arm raised aloft, the hammer swung and missed. But the ant flashed and cracked his loaded butts into the blacksmith's skull. Now there are men who like the rain and men who like the rain, and men who hate a roof of slate until the day they die. The white road ribbons through their dreams and turns and calls again, but not for them, the bare patch of sky.
Well, Dennis, this is one great party.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It's one of the best I've ever been at. Are Clare people always as good as this at parties?
Yeah, they're even better if we had enough of the liquor in, but we haven't time tonight.
You'd like some more of that, would you?
We have so much travelling done all day that we haven't time to drink.
You haven't. You know, looking around me tonight and looking at some of these fine straw corns of hats here, there must have been a great crop of oats or corn or whatever around here last year.
Nothing but the best in the Banner County. But don't the size of the grain deceive you there, because a lot of that is swelled up from all the water we had all year, like, you know.
It doesn't go with the heads as well?
No way, no way. There's no swelled heads there. Even though we can provide the best of music, they don't suffer from swelled heads. You know?
Ah, you're very modest. You're like the Corkmen.
Ah, well, no. We won't
no comment
on that. No.
Strictly no comment.
No
Let's
comment.
have music then. What are we going to have?
Well, we have Pete here on the accordion. We're going to have a jig to start with. Like, we have Pete Hawk here on the accordion. We have Joe Wren. We have James Halloran. And we can't leave out Fiona, who is one of the best on the board on at her age. And maybe there'll be a surprise thrown in as well.
A good surprise?
Well, we'll leave that to your own judgment.
Right, lads. Away with you.
Now, lads.
Sad time in every party, Mr. King, and this is the sad time. There's a song by Sigerson Clifford coming up, the great Kerry songwriter. You're going to tell us a bit about it.
I am, and what fear you think about introducing him, I'll do it. I'm the king of the run around here.
He's one of your boys.
He is, yeah. And it's about time you sat in your chair.
The chair has gone on fire. I can't sit down.
Well, that's the best time you'll sit in it. So, we have enough of the cock people for tonight. Marty Martin is the man who'll sing the Boys of Barnashada for us.
No better man.
No better man. No, Marty.
The town that climbs the mountain and looks upon the sea, and daytime are sleeping, sure 'tis there I long to be, to walk again those kind old streets, the place my life began, with the boys upon the shoulder, on the farm. With cudgels stout we roamed about to hunt the drawling. We searched for birds in a free fall from Little to Dunedin. We jumped with joy beneath the sky. Life held no parental plan, and we ride upon the shoulder among the farthers. And when the hills were bleeding and the rifles were aflame, to the rebel homes of Kerry those tanks and strangers came, but the men who dared the axes and fought the black and tan were one fight upon the shoulder, on the farthers. So here's a health to them tonight, those men who walked with me by the banks of Clan River and the slopes of Bennetty. John Dolly and Bad Handy, the Sheehan, Con and Dan, and the boys upon the shoulder, on the farthers. But now they toil in foreign soil, where they have found their way, deep in the heart of London town, or over in Broadway. But I am left to sing their deeds and praise them while I can. Those boys upon the shoulder, on the farthers. And when the wheel of life runs down and peace comes over me, just lay me down in that old town between your hills and sea. I'll take my sleep among those green fields where first I grew a man, with the boys upon the shoulder, on the farthers.
Ian Gula Gula Hospital, Lawn Rolene Hospital, Sagunt and Khor. We've had a wonderful time. We hunted around, we brought home the bacon. We danced, we sang, we talked, we met Mag and her husband and all the good friends that we used to meet you now until this time next year. The Meramid Joy and I'm sorry. You are.
parish of Kilballion incorporates Cross and Kilbaha. One of the features of the parish is the lighthouse at Loop Head, which was only recently automated. Locally, it is affectionately labelled as the nearest spot to New York. The rugged West Clare coastline, interspersed with caves near Loop Head, forms a perfect backdrop for the vibrant parish of Kilballion. Lonesome boatman Martin Fennell, making his way past Lover's Leap, called after the romantic exploits of Diarmid August Grania. St. John is the patron saint of the parish, and in January 1974, when the club was formed, it was called Naveown. The nearest house to New York belongs to Martin and Delia Crotty, parents of goalkeeper Gerard Crotty. Always a welcome, no matter what time of the day or night, at Martin and Delia Crotty's. Gabriel Keating, the man who formed Naveown on January 6, 1974. It is here in the picturesque surroundings that the football club Naveown prospered, to become today the proud junior football champions of County Clare. Halla Ón Móneen was the venue for the very first meeting on the 6th of January 1974. 47 people attended. The peaceful village of Cross still allows people the opportunity to speak and to chat whenever they meet. Gabriel Keating, founder of the club, speaks to the present treasurer, Danny Boland. And this really is what makes Cross and its people so special. The ruins of the old churchyard at Kilballion provides the perfect backdrop. But this is where it's all happening. This is where the future generation for Naveown footballers would prosper and grow. Winning the Junior Football Championship gives locals plenty to talk about, and where better to meet than Hare's Pub. This is Paddy Joe Keane, better known as Pascal, a former Shannon Rangers great. He loves his football. He's seen some great teams come and go, but none better than the Naveown combination of 1997. Another former great waits inside. This is Paddy Blake, known affectionately as Paddy Bawn. When these players meet, they talk football.
Well, Paddy Bawn. How's Pat?
What a terrible change.
Isn't it beautiful?
Myself and yourself.
Yeah. 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 Wonderful.
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 These are two great Naveown footballers, Paddy Bawn and Pascal. Paddy Bawn, what do you think of this cup?
Beautiful. Beautiful. We'll hold it in the hand, if you like.
Do you want to hold it?
Yeah.
All yours, Paddy Bawn. Now, and you're a proud man. Good man, Paddy Bawn.
That's the boy.
Pascal, what does it mean to you to be part of Naveown?
I'm delighted. I'm delighted.
Great.
Delighted. I
Can
hope that
I
win
leave it
more
down?
cups.
Right.
You can leave it down now, Paddy Bawn. Come on.
That's right. Thank you.
Alright, hold on now, we'll move it over here.
Lovely man.
Paddy Bawn, come in a little bit closer to me here so that you can talk to me.
Lovely man.
Why do they call you Paddy Bawn?
What'd you say?
Why do they call you Paddy Bawn?
Why do they call me Paddy Bawn? Well, I'm sure they're always Christians the second time. They're always Christians the second time. They're always Christians the second time.
Has it anything to do with a Kerry footballer?
No. When I used to always follow, you know, like here's the All-Ireland. Here's the All-Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go to all the matches, Paddy Bawn, here for Naveown?
Well, I used to go to the matches. I used to go back. Milltown. Yeah, I used.
And did you go to the county final when they played Coraclare on the 22nd of November? Did you see this team win this cup?
No, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there.
Do you think they're a good team though? I mean, have you seen them play during the year?
Not a bad. Not such a bad team altogether.
And who do you think is the best player? The best footballer in Naveown? Who do you think?
The best footballer in Naveown?
Yeah.
It's hard to pick. It's hard to pick.
Are you just being a politician now?
I give it to Johnny Maguire, the goalie.
Johnny Maguire?
Johnny Maguire Kilclare, the goalie. His mother came from Castle Island.
I thought Johnny had retired, but anyway.
Yes.
Tell me, Pascal, just to get you into this chat, what do you think of this Naveown team and who do you think is the best player?
You know, they're all good footballers, Marty. They're all good footballers. Young, happy lad children. They're great. They're great. They're great.
Isn't it great that the parish has a championship cup like this, a beautiful
Wonderful.
cup?
Wonderful. I'm delighted for Naveown. I'm delighted for them.
Do you often meet here in the middle of the day in Hare's Pub?
We do.
Are you often here, Paddy Bawn?
Do you be often here in the middle of the day?
No, boss. You know.
Are you telling me the truth now? You don't drink during the day?
Oh, no, boss. Oh, no. The nurse wouldn't allow it. The nurse from County Donegal wouldn't allow it. She's looking after me. We're toppling over. Go back to the road.
So you only drink at night time, Paddy Bawn? You only drink at night time?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I do. I do have a few drinks in the night. Just a few drinks with party. Here. I do.
Well, it's great meeting you, lads. And up Naveown.
Thank you. Thank you.
and living forever and dearly. Lord Bishop, my brother priests and my dear people, we welcome you all to this joyful celebration this evening when we solemnly dedicate Church at Money, which you have renovated so beautifully. We thank God for the fine weather, which adds to our sense of rejoicing. This church was first opened in 1858. One of my predecessors, Bishop Michael Flannery, blessed this church, and on that occasion, the Bishop of Kerry at the time, Bishop Moriarty, preached a sermon. It's very appropriate this evening, the Bishop of Kerry also comes to preach a sermon. But in welcoming the present Bishop of Kerry, Dr. Kevin McNamara, of course we're welcoming him home, a very distinguished chairman and a priest of the last Kildoos. We're very grateful to him for honouring this historic occasion. The first part of this ceremony is the blessing and sprinkling with holy water. Instead of the usual penitential rite of Mass, we have instead the blessing of water, the sprinkling congregation of the walls of the church, reminding us that as we renovate this church, we also try to purify and rededicate ourselves. The grace and peace of God be with you all in this holy church. My dear people in Christ, in this solemn rite of dedication, let us ask the Lord our God to bless this water created by His hand. It is a sign of our repentance and a reminder of our baptism. May the grace of God help us to remain faithful members of His church, open to the Spirit we have received.
I see you are a prophet, sir. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, while you say that Jerusalem is the place where one ought to worship.
I know a wee spot is the spot of great fame, and it lies to the north, and I'll tell you its name. It's my own native birthplace, and it's on Irish soil, and they call it Lovely Derry, on the banks of the Foyle. I courted a wee wee lass. Her age was 19. She was the fairest wee Colleen the world has ever seen. She had skin like the lily, and her hair waved in coil, and she came from lovely Derry on the banks of the Foyle. I mind it when we parted to cross o'er the blue sea to try and make a fortune for Mary and me. I cried when we parted, and my tears wet the soil, far away from lovely Derry, on the banks of the Foyle. But if ever I return, there's one place I will go, to the land of my birthplace, and the sweet girl I know. I will build her a mansion, and no more will I toil far away from lovely Derry on the banks of the Foyle.
Lovely!
The wind sang high on our rocky coast to the dance of a restless tide, as a vessel strayed on its onward way, with no pilot on board to guide, till from landwards upon its stormy course so unkindly eyes were bent, and forth undismayed to the stranger's aid 5 dauntless pilots went. There was one who had thrown his spade away as he ran to the water side, and another but 2 short months before had welcomed his youthful bride. But the spade may lie on the garden's ridge, and the young wife may watch in vain, for by God's decree from the chilly seas they will never come home again. No wistful farewell those doomed men took as they pulled from their native shores. They were summoned away from their bright fireside full many a time before. That watery track they had traversed oft, The waves were like old friends now. One might fancy they knew that staunch canoe as they leaped round its gallant bow. They are gone away and away to death. They pull with a hearty will as the watchers move in eager group to the top of Dundallan Hill. They see as the canoe nears the ship that the sea gives one fatal roll, and they cry to the love of the God above to pity his creature soul. And now is the moment of direst need, but their need will soon be past. It is vain to struggle in death's embrace, for its cold hand had gripped them fast. Oh, life is sweet to the darkening eye, and the sea makes a lonely grave, and no human power in that awful hour even one precious life could save. There are 3 gone now, and the other 2 are struggling right bravely yet, with their manly brows to the heavens bare, and their teeth in anguish set. Each meets the waves with his warm heart, and strikes through the blinding foam, for the love of life, for the love of wife, for the love of a cherished home. There is one left now, and his dwelling lies low down on the rugged shore. He knows that 2 tiny lads are there at sport round his cottage door. In the heart of a noble manhood's prime, with his hopes for the future high, with life so bright, with land in sight, he will not, he cannot die. It is o'er, the struggle was dire but brief, the last of the 5 has gone. Those gallant men who for other lives were so ready to risk their own. I do not bid you a long farewell. I shall meet you some future day, for the crimson flood of our Saviour's blood takes the world's sins away.